A pure expanse to majestic peaks, sandy beaches to rugged coastline. Mossy woods give way to rainforests. Sounds of hustling cities in an instant gave way to crashing waves and the familiar seagull. The truest sign I've made it. In all its splendor, the Pacific rose in the direction of the setting sun. I became captivated and remembered a part of me forgotten. Might have been living in harmony with nature and those old sea legs I once had in a distant life. Listen to the messages hidden in the waves, and they will guide you forward. For me, every piece of nature has a past billions of years in the making, and their stories fascinate me. If I could only scratch the surface and share them, that would be a life worth having. One should aim to be in harmony with the earth and not against it. Slow down, take it all in. Having a destination is pointless if one doesn't slow down. Life is worth more if we listen to meaning in our hearts. Never speak through it, because then the meaning isn't heard. Being a stranger in a foreign land has made me remember my purpose and allowed me to grow. These are the splendors of Canada. I always find that I have to go back to nature to find myself again. And I know that going to a place that I've never been to before, seeing things and experiencing things, really puts my life into perspective again. And not many people can say that they went to a foreign country, and they left home to go to a foreign country for a month, and they've never ever done much of any camping or much of anything by themselves ever in their life before, and people can't, not many people can push past fear at all. They get stuck in it. And if you get past it, and if you risk it, you risk things, life means so much more.
The wolf in this wild land with bison and caribou lived down through the ages in forest and play, together each in his own way. The moose and the bison, the deer and the caribou, they fed on the forest, the grass and the moss. But the way of the wolf when he needed to eat was to track down his prey, had to have meat. They all lived together and all had their day by living in nature, each in his own way.
Influence. Lori's been in this space for about 5 years, and she's turned it into a beautiful garden, peaceful and beautiful to look at, and requires a lot of work, and she's been doing a lot of that. So it's made the place appear to be and actually reflect the values that we hold deeply, which is that we want to be in harmony with nature, and we want to love the people who come and share it with us, and things like that. So we just hope people appreciate the beauty, love, and the nature of this space.
Of what I do, Andrew. I'm 64 years old. I've had a yard. I would say probably I've had a yard for about 45 years. Different yards, but I've had. And so wherever I am, I tend to create a space that, I'm just have plants will travel. I think I said to somebody recently, there's more than enough love in the world to go around. I think there's more than enough perennials in the world to go around. I've shared the perennials that are in the front, and there's three. Well, everything here I've developed since I came, and it's kind of what I do.
Oh, these are my type of people.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Good.
And I think isn't that right? I think we're drawn to people that are similar to us.
Mm-hmm.
Don said it's a lot of work, and I argue it's less work than what most people have. Most people have grass. And grass needs to be cut, and it needs to be fertilized, and it needs water. It needs a lot of work in terms of maintenance. Perennials, you can just plant them and forget them. The only thing that improves their appearance is if once the flowers are finished, you cut them down, and that's called deadheading. If you do that occasionally, and water, but all the perennials I have are they're made for Saskatchewan. So they're drought resistant, and they can sustain minus 30 weather in the winter, and
The heat.
yeah, so basically, in the fall or in the spring, depending on time, you just cut them all down to the ground, and then you let them do what they do all on their own, which is pop up and grow. So one of the reasons I like them is because they are less work than, we could put rocks down. I guess that would be the very less work, but even, yeah. So I like them because I think they look
Sand
nice.
and rocks.
Yeah.
Nice little desert.
Yeah, but I do think they look nice, and I find it kind of exciting because you walk outside and and there's something different all the time. There's a new bloom, or there's, it's like, oh, this has come up, or I forgot about you, and because they've been with me, a lot of them I've moved. I don't buy. A lot of people spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars on landscaping. I don't. I'm very frugal. Most of the perennials, 99.9% of the perennials I have been given to me. and I give perennials to people too. Like I said, to me, perennials are meant to share. I've Yeah, so I just haven't spent a lot of money. I don't have a professional landscaper.
Do you find that your plants always talk to you?
Oh yeah, they're like an old friend. Most of them I can tell you who I got them from, and so I carry that. I guess in a way, it's my connection with that person. Like I've got
That
some that were
person
from my
in
dad.
nature.
Pardon me?
That person in harmony with nature.
Yeah, like my dad, or I was. I had a lot of clients in my career, and they gave me some, and so when I see their plants, they've since died, but it's like they live on in their plants. So yeah, so I have kind of a personal relationship with a lot of them.
I made it. I'm here at the International Peace Garden finally. Right now, I'm on the US side, and these rocks, this line here, line of rocks. So, right on the other side of that is the that's Canada. On the other side of those rocks over there. Well, I made it. I'm officially in Canada. Border crossing was a little bit interesting. Okay. So I answer all his questions. The customs inspector, and then at the end of the questioning, he says, I have a few more questions for you. Can you please pull over and stop? His big question is, so if you run out of money, do you have any sorts of backup of someone who can give you money to make it back to the United States? And I say, so to answer that question fairly, I said, yes, I do. My parents back in Minnesota would give me the money that I needed to get back. Yes, that's what I said. He asks, have you done much camping? And I said, no, I haven't. And he said, why do you choose Canada to go camping? And I said, because I wanted something different, something I've never done before. It's all true. And he nods and said, okay. And of course, I was going to open up the car so he could look at the stuff, because the first thing he sees when I park He says, you have a lot of stuff in that car. Is that all for camping? He says. And I said, yes. Just yes. And he says, okay. So, and all the while, he has my passport, and he understood, and he let me go. Well, I finally made it onto the Trans-Canadian Highway, Trans-Canada #1, going west. It feels really good to be finally heading west on Trans-Canada #1. Well, because I'm following this road all the way to Vancouver. So that was part of my trip. I saw a couple of signs back saying I got another 360 kilometers left to go. And enjoy the scenery. I am. By the way, I haven't had any lunch today. Apparently, that breakfast skillet was really filling. But I know that I have to get there. Water from the state park zone is gone. It's gone. Water's gone. Being here 50 years gives you a lot of time to do things that you visualize and want to do. Yeah, and it's a hobby. It's fun. I enjoy it.
He loves his garden. We don't grow vegetables because we never used to. There used to be a lot more,
Well, we get
Shade.
too much shade.
but we don't grow vegetables. People next door do.
Well, just because I wanted to have the place presentable and looking nice, and it was something I enjoyed doing, is getting out and kind of, creating something that I thought was of beauty.
I
Do you
thi-
consider yourself an artist?
Well, yeah, I was very artistic.
Because I would consider this very artistic.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was when I was in junior high and that I was quite artistic, with a pen and paper and paint and that. But so yeah, it's just that carries through.
I also think it's something that's in your DNA. I don't like gardening. My dad didn't like gardening. My mom, but his mother just spent her whole life in the garden, and she had a tiny little plot of land, but she just loved being in her garden. And I think you're born a gardener, or you're born a nurse or a teacher. It's just something in your makeup that you get, that you inherit from whoever you came from. I think it's a nice hobby. And actually, when you get into it, it's amazing when you see how things grow. That's the fascination with it. You can plant something and you just give it a little water, and then just reward you with this display.
Yeah, you
And-
love it, and it
And
loves you back.
yes, or you can get what you call an orphan. You can plant a plant here, but a little seed or somebody, little bird or something will take it over there, and then you have another plant growing there, but you didn't plant it. We grew up, going on these amazing hikes and walks that you can do, and when you're younger, you kind of take it for granted because you grew up here, but as you get older, you are in awe of it.
Right.
If you go up to Cathedral Grove, which is up on your way to Port Alberni, you see trees there when you think of how long they're hundreds of years old, and their tree trunks are massive, and it's
Or if you
just
think of a redwood.
Same idea.
like
Think your redwood in
like your
California.
redwoods. Only these are big firs and
Yeah, but no,
They say that you have a rainforest on Vancouver
that would be
Island.
Cathedral Grove or something like that.
well, even the Gold Stream
Oh
is
yes,
just down the
it's
15 minutes down the road down here.
Yeah, but Avatar out in Port Renfrew,
Yeah.
there's a place out there that has the oldest tree, I don't know, in the world or whatever. Anyways, they call it Avatar.
Okay.
It might be worth a trip out.
Well, Gold Stream would be better because if you're going,
Oh, we'd have to make that horrible left-hand turn coming out.
it's got a light on it now.
It
It's got a
doesn't.
light. Yes, it doesn't.
A blinking light?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite place?
Yeah, I like the mountains of Alberta, and particularly Banff, Jasper, Lake Louise area is really one of the most beautiful in the country, and it's so. I used to try to get there every year, but I haven't for the last several, and I'm missing them now. So yeah, that's probably my favorite place in the country to go. Other than around here, tell you what, when you're a flatland prairie boy like me, this is home. The mountains are a lovely place to visit, and spiritually it's really pleasant. This clearly is home. I like being here too.
And I would say everything. I mean, I like the mountains that, like Don talked about. I've gone more frequently than he has. But I've got kids in British Columbia and Ontario, and so I like going there. There's no part of Canada that I don't think is kind of fun and interesting, and I love it.
Hi. First day hiking in Banff National Park, and I'm climbing probably one of the hardest trails. It's certainly, I've heard from people on the trail that it is one of the most difficult and winding trails that there is in the park, going up Sulphur Mountain. And the whole reason I'm doing this is because, well, first of all, I just couldn't see paying what it took to take a ride up the mountain in the gondola. So I decided to go the trail that winds back and forth, crossing the gondola. So when there's people coming up it, I see them going up, and I get some really nice pictures. And yeah, I am almost up to the top of the mountain now, and feeling pretty good about that. So this morning I caught a shuttle to Lake Louise, and I'm at Lake Louise right now, and I decided that I would hike up, ag, hike up towards the uh, tea tea house. So I did, and I met some really nice people from Texas, and yeah, they were kind enough to pay for my tea this afternoon.
I'm proud to be
No,
a
I'm just, yeah.
Canadian, just for the fact of how how good a life that I've had. I've been
But
great.
that part
I've
of
been
that's our
graced.
generation too.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. But I've been graced to, go
You've
through
been very fortunate.
73 years of, just a wonderful life. So I'm very thankful for that.
Now our parents, they were called the greatest generation because of what they had to live through and survived, and did really well. Whereas, and we're called, what are we? Baby boomers. We're we're at the beginning of the spectrum of the baby boomer.
Like 1950 upward?
No, well, actually, I think it's 45.
Oh yeah, right. It was
Yeah.
right after World War II.
Up to 55,
Right.
yeah.
So
And
yeah,
that's-
45.
Yeah, and that's what
And
I
then
was.
there's Generation X, and then there's
Yeah,
millennials.
all
and,
those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what I was referring to. That my generation. I was born in '45. The war was over.
yeah, but that's
We've
the
never had
that's
to
the
go.
generation.
We've never
That's
had
not
to go to
Canada
war.
because
Like
Canada
with the
has
states,
been.
you had Vietnam and all. I mean,
But we did
same
have the
people
Second
my
and
age
First
had
World War.
had to fight a war.
I'm proud to just say I'm Canadian. It's just a pride. I can't
It's okay.
nail it. I'm
Okay.
glad I'm glad I'm a Canadian. Like English people are proud to be English,
English,
I
and-
mean, Americans are proud to be American. They're out there. We don't wave the flag quite the way the Americans do.
It seems like I have to refresh myself and rebuild myself time and time again because I change, and I keep growing. And thus, we go back to that idea of like growing and look in gardens and, watching, taking care of things, like taking care of a garden to watching it grow, and then it dies away if you don't take care of it. And if you take care of it so well, it's gonna grow and grow and grow until it just can't grow anymore, and it's just gonna die on its own natural accord. And then at that point, you gotta replant and start over again. I've been camping for about a week now, and I can say that there's been lots of struggles, lots of frustration. But it's all been worth it.